Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that your work is going well. So if you have not already read the PDFs, please go back and read them because the ones that are on here are kind of blurry. I couldn't quite get them to be clear when I was copy and pasting them. So please read them on the PDF first. It'll be easier, and then come back and answer these questions. But we are going to start with on reverence for parents. And we're going to start with question A. Which of the following statements best describes the central theme of the text? So you could tell just by reading that little gray box that I always tell you to read, the idea in which girls or women should conduct themselves. It's the very first sentence. So we're not talking about just children owing their parents' devotion because of the great effort required to bear and raise a child. We're talking about or someone who treats his or her parents well is more likely to be a respectable and morally upright person. We're talking about unmarried girls that should devote themselves to painstakingly caring for their parents and demonstrating great respect for them. It's not really focused on spouses or husbands or wives because it's talking about the parents. So D doesn't make sense either. Girls should take care to choose their spouses carefully to ensure that they will maintain a good relationship with their parents. Nope. Our big idea is going to be C. Unmarried girls should devote themselves painstakingly to caring for their parents. Which goes to B. Which phrase from the text best supports the answer to part A? So, A, girls not yet gone from their homes, not married, must carefully reverence their parents. That's pretty much what we just said. So A is a really good answer, but let's check out the other ones. B, hear with reverence and obedient heart and repent of and forsake the wrong. Does our central idea talk about girls doing wrong? No, so not a good one. C, the word of your parents regard as beyond all others important. Yes, it is kind of important to listen to your parents, but that's not the central idea. And then D, when your parents become old, morning and night be sorrowful and fearful. So again, we're not really talking about when parents become old. We're talking about girls taking, really revering and upholding their parents. So that is going to be A. All right, then we go to part A. Next one, what does the word rebuke most closely mean as is used in line 9? So we're going to get back to line 9. Let's see. If your parents rebuke you, receive it not impatiently, but standing in their presence, hear with reverence and obedient heart, and repent of and forsake the wrong. So if your parents do something, you should not listen impatiently. You should hear with a reverence, so a very serious and solemn and obedient heart, and repent and forsake the wrong. So rebuke means that you did something wrong. So let's go back to this. To criticize without cause or reason. If you did something wrong, is it without cause or reason? No. To overly stress a point or argument. Are they overly stressing it? No, you did something wrong. So they're trying to do something. So to punish someone for disobeying an order, we don't know what you did wrong. So we don't know if they disobeyed an order. So probably not that. But let's look at D, to express sharp disapproval of someone's behavior. So if you did something wrong, if you didn't behave well, your parents might rebuke you or express that sharp disapproval. So D was our correct answer. And now we're going to go to part B. Which of the following phrases from the text best supports the answer to part A? So A, receive it not impatiently. B, standing in their presence. C, and repent of and forsake the wrong. Or D, obey their instruction. So what helps us understand that you did something wrong? It's expressing sharp disapproval. Listen not impatiently. Stand in their presence. Say you're sorry and say you're not going to do wrong again, or obey their instructions. I would say probably C. C is that right answer. So let's go back up. We had C, we had D, we had A, and then we had C again. So C, A, D, see. And we're going to go on to the next one. So this is Fish Cheeks. Now, please, again, read it on the PDF. It is too blurry to read on here. So here we go. Read the incomplete summary from the passage and select 2 sentences needed to complete an objective, so no opinion, summary of the text. Here we go. The narrator is Chinese and in love with her non-Chinese minister's son named Robert. The American's parents invite Robert and the minister over for Christmas dinner, and the narrator is appalled by the idea that Christmas dinner will be Chinese and not American. She believes that Robert will be disgusted by the food and her relatives' behaviors. So then we go to, let's look at our first option, A. The narrator's father burps loudly and explains to the minister that burping is a sign of respect, and the narrator is very embarrassed. So this does happen, but is that kind of very important to the plot? The fact that her father burps? I don't think so. Let's go to the next one. The narrator, her family, and Robert and the minister all eat Christmas dinner while Robert doesn't directly say he is disgusted by the food and behavior, he does grimace openly. So is it important that they all eat Christmas dinner together and that Robert is not very pleased kind of by what's going on? He's kind of put off, and this embarrasses our narrator. That seems pretty important. So let's go to the next one. The narrator doesn't like her family anymore, and I think they are trying to embarrass her, so Robert doesn't like her. Remember, objective means no opinion. So if you're saying I think, you're including an opinion, not a good option. Let's go to the next one. The narrator is crushed at the end of the night, and her mother tries to explain to the narrator that while she is American, she will always also be Chinese. But the narrator doesn't understand what her mother meant until she is much older. So does that kind of sum up the ending? She's upset at the end. Her mother tries to explain to her, and she admits she doesn't understand until she was older. That's pretty much what happens. So I'm going to click on that one. We've got the last one, though. The narrator is sad that Robert doesn't like her at the end of the night, but she hopes that her mom is right and she will be American one day, too. Does her mom say she is an American? No, her mom tells her that she is American. All right. Then we've got the next one. What does the menu description in paragraph 3 reveal about how the narrator views her family's cultural traditions? A, she views them as humorous. B, she views them as disgusting. C, she views them as honorable. Or D, she views them as annoying. Well, if you just look at the way she describes the squid and the, I don't know what else is there. There's a couple other dishes she describes, and she doesn't describe them as funny or as honorable or as annoying. She views them as disgusting. So she's kind of like appalled by her own culture at that point. So, next one. How does the narrator's embarrassed attitude towards her culture affect the way she describes the events in the passage? So, A, she describes the food as foreign and unappealing. B, she focuses on her desire to be more American. C, she focuses on her crush's reaction to her family. Or D, she criticizes every little detail of her mother's cooking. So let's go back. She doesn't criticize her mother's cooking. She says that she worked hard. Now, she mentions her crush's reactions to her family, but that's not the thing that she focuses on. She focuses on what her family does, really. So, focuses on her desire to be more American? Maybe, but showing embarrassed attitude is the way she describes the food as foreign and unappealing. You guys got to think, this is the food that she grew up with. These are basically cultural traditions for her. So she really, really, really normally would enjoy this food. But because she's trying to show Robert that she is American, she is not describing it the way that she normally would. So A, she describes food as foreign and unappealing, is going to be our answer. Then we go to the next one. How does does paragraph 3, so the same one we've been talking about, when the narrator is describing the food, advance the plot? So it illustrates the narrator's love of her Chinese culture. If she's describing it as foreign and unappealing, is she showing love for her culture? No. B, it exposes Robert's disgust at the narrator's Chinese culture. Again, she doesn't focus fully on his reaction, she focuses on her family and what they're doing. So, not B. C, it reveals the narrator's growing negative opinion of her Chinese culture. Does it show that she is embarrassed and finds it unappealing and doesn't like it? Yes. It also shifts the focus, or does it shift the focus from the food to the narrator's fear of Robert's rejection? This paragraph is all about the food, so there's no shift of focus. So our correct answer would be C. Which piece of evidence best reveals the narrator's feelings about her family's behavior during dinner? A, and then they arrived, the minister's family and all my relatives, in a clamor of doorbells and rumpled Christmas packages. B, Robert and his family waited patiently for platters to be passed to them. C, I was stunned into silence for the rest of the night. And D, and even though I didn't agree with her then, I knew she understood how much I had suffered during the evening's dinner. So, this one talks about her family, but does it reveal her feelings? Not really. This one talks about what Robert and his family did. Does it talk about her feelings? No. I was stunned into silence for the rest of the night. That focuses on her feelings, and it is because of her family. And then we've got the next one, which is going to be, and even though I didn't agree with her, I knew she understood how much I had suffered during that evening's dinner. So this talks about her feelings, but it's not focused on her family. So I'm going to say that C is our correct answer. Ooh, have I been marking them? Yes. Okay. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. Alrighty, so now we're going to go to this one. Which word best describes the tone of paragraph 5? So A, miserable, B, cheerful, C, melancholy, or D, proud. So miserable is like upset and kind of like tortured. Cheerful is very happy, melancholy is very sad, and proud is just to be proud. So based on that, I would say that it seems pretty miserable. Pretty miserable. Alright. Then, what does Amy's mother mean when she says, your only shame is to have shame? A, it is wrong for Amy to be embarrassed of her family's traditions. B, it is wrong for Amy to be embarrassed of her love for American food. C, it is wrong for Amy to be embarrassed about having a crush on Robert. Or D, it is wrong for Amy to be embarrassed about fitting in with her classmates. Alright, let's start crossing them off. D, it never talks about her classmates, so not D. Amy is not embarrassed to have a crush on Robert, so it's not C. We've got B. It is wrong for Amy to be embarrassed of her love for American food. Amy really wants to be American, so she's not embarrassed of her love for American food, which means it's gotta be A. It is wrong for Amy to be embarrassed of her family's traditions. So that is wrong. Alright, next one. What does paragraph 8 reveal about the narrator's point of view changed as she got older? About how the narrator's point of view. Sorry, I skipped that. So A, she realized the minister's son was not as friendly as she thought. B, she learned to love her mother's cooking, which she previously hated. C, she regretted not expressing her real emotions to Robert and his family. Or D, she learned to appreciate her family and her Chinese American identity. So let's go back to the top and let's cross some off. So A, she realized the minister's son was not as friendly as she thought. She doesn't say that at the end. She just says she got over her crush. So not A. B, she learned to love her mother's cooking, which she previously hated. If you remember, her father points out that what they were eating was her favorite. She points out that what they were eating was her favorite. So it is not B. C, she regretted not expressing her real emotions to Robert and his family. She doesn't express it, but she doesn't say that she regrets that. So it's not C, which means it's got to be D. She learned to appreciate her family and her Chinese American identity. Remember, her only shame is to have shame. So D was our correct answer. Almost done, guys. Part A. What does paragraph 2 reveal about the narrator's point of view? A. It develops the theme that you should be proud of your heritage. B. It reveals how embarrassed she is of her family and her Chinese heritage. C. It illustrates that she embraces her Chinese heritage. Or D. It exposes the narrator's anti-American sentiments when it comes to holidays. So if you're looking at paragraph 2, it doesn't really develop the theme that you should be proud of your heritage, because at that point she's not. So it's more of B. It reveals how embarrassed she is of her family and her Chinese heritage. She is very embarrassed and she thinks Robert isn't going to like her. So she is not embracing her Chinese heritage, and she is not anti-American, especially when it comes to holidays. She wants it to be an American holiday, so Robert is not freaked out by her fish cheeks. Then we've got part B. How does the author develop this point of view? A, by showing Amy's concern that her crush will look down on her family's customs and behavior. B, by illustrating Amy's excitement at sharing her Chinese heritage with her crush, Robert. C, by exposing Amy's hatred of Robert's culture and her avoidance of interacting with him. D, by revealing Amy's joy at the thought of her family being seen as American. So we'll start from the bottom. Amy does not think that her family is going to be seen as American, so it's not D. By exposing Amy's hatred of Robert's culture, she doesn't hate Robert's culture. Remember, she really wants to be seen as American, so she likes it. So it's not C. B. By illustrating Amy's excitement at sharing her Chinese heritage with her crush, Robert. If you remember, she's very embarrassed and worried that Robert is going to think she's weird because she eats all these things and has this different culture, which means it's got to be A, by showing Amy's concern that crush will look down on her family's customs and behavior. So we're going to go ahead and submit, and we're going to see what grade we got. Oh, it doesn't tell us. But if you got those answers, you got it 100% correct. So, thank you for going over this with me. If you have any questions, you can comment below. I will see you guys next week in person and tomorrow in video. Bye!